Hello, everyone, and welcome back to NFL Weekly Picks with your boy B Buck, Mr. Tom Ria Sports, joining us momentarily. There he is. What up, brother? Can you see the top of my
What's
head?
up? Big Buck, what's up, big brother? How we doing?
I'm doing good, buddy. How you been? All right?
Dude, life is good. We were just talking, man. What a moment as a Giants fan. For those who don't know, now you know. Harbaugh, officially a New York Giant. Couldn't have gotten better news, honestly, to start the new year.
Ooh, man, dude, we were really just saying it feels like Christmas morning. That's awesome, man. Best thing to happen to the Giants. Wild, they're on the come up, dude. I could say the Niners are advancing the playoffs to the divisional round. The Giants get John Harbaugh, and Matt Eberflus is jobless. So life is good. Life is good right now, man. Life is good. Shit, everything,
Eberflus, I thought you were a big Eberflus guy. What do you mean?
dude. The world is healing. The world is healing. But
It's
fucking
dead ass.
that's
And we had quite the weekend of picks, man. Especially you, my friend. You had quite the weekend, dude. Really happy for you.
dude. Thanks, bro. Listen, guys, we are gonna touch on the John Harbaugh thing. A whole lot to go over in the league, football in general. One of the greatest sports out there, if not the greatest sport. We're back again for more weekly picks. It's going so fast. We're in the divisional round now, and last week we had the wild card round. And guys, I don't know if you saw the video. If you didn't, you missed out. Especially if you like making picks or bets, if that's your forte. We had some comments. I went 13 of 18 on the wild card round, 5 of 6 on the point spread, 2 of 6 on the over under, fucking over under, and then 6 of 6 on the money lines. Got all 6 right. Mr. Tom, not far behind, 11 of 18 total right, 5 of 6 on the point spreads. Let's go. 1 of 6 on the over unders, but hey, we both messed that one up. 5 of 6 on the money lines, and then we had a few comments saying they're like, yo, you guys did really good. I'm glad the video did end up getting like 200, 300 views. Very happy with that. People were tuning in, giving their opinions on everything. We called it even before last week's video. We were like, this is going to be one of the best wild card playoff matchups, at least on paper. And I think I watched every game except the beginning of the Bills game because I was working, and I thought every game was pretty entertaining, and I thought it came through for the start of what could be one of the best playoffs we've seen in a while. What do you think, Tom?
100%. Yeah, I think it was. I think I heard a stat. It was the most fourth quarter lead changes ever in wild card history, or in like a playoff weekend history, or maybe even all like in a playoff year history or something like that. I have to check that, but a ton of lead changes. I mean, the first 2 games were great right off the bat. The Panthers-Rams game, which we told everybody, like that 10.5 points at home.
Yes.
It's just a crazy spread, right? It's a crazy spread. There's no way either of us were picking against that, and it came through. Panthers, I mean, shoot, they were freaking 40 seconds away, a minute away from winning that game, which, I mean, would have been out of this world to think about. But then the Packers game at night, it looked like it was going to be another one. The Bears come all the way back, as they've done all year. Bills Jags is down to the wire. The Niners Eagles game was down to the wire. Really, the only bad games we had were the night games, right? The Sunday and Monday night games, the last 2. But no, it was a great weekend. It reminded me of like the 2021 wild card year when the Rams won the Super Bowl way back when, and every game came down to the wire. Kind of made me feel that way in a lot of senses. So great weekend, kind of what we predicted, and I think it should continue, right? Why not?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it continue here in the divisional round? I feel like there's still a lot of evenly matched teams and really, really tight matchups that I'm honestly very excited to talk about. I'm glad we got some extra time to do so.
Dude, same, bro, same. And you're right, man. We liked basically every team that was in the playoffs, and now I'm looking right here on our paper of the teams still left, and this could be exciting, man. We're gonna have a new champion no matter what after the Eagles were eliminated last week, which is pretty exciting. Quick glimpse. I mean, obviously we're gonna go over it later, guys. We'll get our playoff brackets. This one was we even just did as a joke, but some of them were the picks that we had. This literally we called it. Now this is the divisional round. Tom literally had Denver versus Buffalo, New England versus Houston. Very cool. I did want to say while I'm looking at last week's picks, we missed 1 or 2 over unders by 1 point, literally 1 or 2 points. And you could say the same for the point spread throughout the years. Guys, I meant to say this in a video a while ago. I think I might have brought it up once or twice, but I can't exaggerate enough. If you ever do bet on sports, I think on the phone mainly, I don't know if they allow it in sports books and casinos, but guys, if you can buy points, it's called, or if they're offering you points for a point spread or the over under, you take it every freaking time, man. You're not even, it doesn't even cost you money. It only affects the odds and the price of what you can win, but you take the points. If you're taking the over, it takes points off of the total. You know what I mean? So if the over under is 40 and you buy 3 points, it makes the new over under 37. Same with the point spreads. Oh, a team's plus 3, you add the 3 points on, now they're plus 6. You do that every single time. Oh, Brandon, it's costing me odds, costing me money. Do you want to win? You know what I mean? Or do you want to freaking lose? Because, guys, we said it in one of our videos a while back. We don't have the luxury of buying points. Every Wednesday night, we make these picks, so the lines are set. This is the DraftKings totals and point spreads Wednesday nights when we record these videos. And we'll make a pick. Yeah, maybe sometimes we'll win 1 by 1 or lose 1 by 1. But the Bills game, we had it at 51.5, and I think it ends at 51. So
It did, yeah.
I'm telling people buy 3 points just to be safe. You're almost guaranteed to win if, it goes in that direction, if you're confident with that pick. You could buy a half a point. You could buy 1 point, but why fuck around, guys? Just buy the points. Just thought I'd throw that out there if people are big into betting, because it's always helped me in the past, and it took me into my later years to realize that is important.
It's a good point, right? Like, especially if you have a bigger bankroll, why not have play teasers, right? Like, why not do it especially if you're willing to bet a little bit more money up front, right? Because you kind of have more of a safer cushion. So I love that advice, and I hope more people listen to that, because everyone's always hesitant when it comes to teasers, at least people I know, and I think they deserve a little bit more love. And like you said, how many times, especially even last weekend, we had multiple games where missed by a couple points or missed by half a point, right? Like, little things like that, it just drives you crazy. But it's part of the game, man. It's part of the business we're in.
So true. Very true, guys. Just, we're trying to help you. Picks, everything in life, just football knowledge, whatever. And I want you all to join in the conversation as well. Mr. Tom, is it time we make these freaking picks, man?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm amped. I'm ready to go. I want you to start it off, though. I'm putting you on the spot because I really want to hear what you got for Bills Broncos before I share what I got.
Damn. All right. See, I was literally going to do the same to you before the video started.
I got you. To it this time.
All right. You beat me to it. Guys, NFL Weekly Picks, your boy B-Buck, Mr. Tom Reyes Sports, back for round 2 of the 2025 through 26 playoffs, the 2025 NFL season. We are now in the divisional round. Look at the games, look at the years, look at the date on this video. Now you know what we're picking. Saturday, January 17th. We're recording this Wednesday night. This Saturday, January 17th of 2026 is the start of the divisional round, with the Buffalo Bills advancing on past the Jaguars at the Denver Broncos, the number 1 seed in the AFC. Almost rightfully deserved, too. They had a very good year. It's time, guys. It's time for 2 heavyweights, the closest odds of the entire week, to go at it in Denver. I'm sure it's going to be an ice-cold game this late in the winter. They got the Broncos as slight favorites at home. A real true pick 'em here as far as the money line. Over under 45.5 with that stout Broncos defense. All right, guys, you want to take, and Mr. Tom, you want to hear Buck's take on this one? What was it? Because when the odds first came out, I was wanted to place a bet or look at something, and I forget. I think I was going Bills just because of Josh Allen's playoff experience, and I can see them. The way they almost snuck past the Jaguars, you know what I mean? I can see them doing that to the Broncos, the young Bo Nix. I know Sean Payne's there. I'm sure he's got him coached up. But don't forget, and I said at the time, I forget if it was on or off the air, guys, really hot take here. I don't know if I'm a firm believer in the number 1 seed getting a bye week going into the playoffs. I feel like these teams who get the number 1 seed are riding win streaks or had an amazing season just to get 1 week off, and then it always throws them off a little bit. And if it doesn't throw them off for the entire game, it throws them off for at least the first quarter or the first half of the game. You know what I mean? Because they're a little rusty. They're riding high on confidence. And then you got a hungry team coming in. You know what I mean? Like the 6 seed Bills. Hungry as ever for a Super Bowl, especially with Josh Allen. Guys, I'm going to do something crazy here. And this game, as a true pick'em, I can't really lose because it's going to be a fun game anyway. I'm giving the Bills the 1.5 points. I'm taking the Bills to sneak one out against the Broncos in Denver. I barely picked against Denver all year. I can just kind of see it in my head right now. I love the playoff experience of the Bills recent years. I like Josh Allen being Josh Allen, finding a way to win. I feel like majority of the money, believe it or not, I'd like to look this up, might end up being on the Broncos come Saturday. And then, guys, I don't know. I could just see. I'm not going to tell you a game total, but I can see the Bills literally winning this by 1 to 3 points. Like nothing, not even a touchdown, like 1 to 3 points. As far as the over under at 45.5, let's not forget about that Broncos defense, guys. I feel like Broncos games are weird. You know what I mean? Like they go under a lot. And the Broncos offense hasn't been the greatest this year. They've been very hit or miss. It's been mainly that defense and Sean Payton keeping them in it, winning them games. Man, I'm going to say under. I know I had a hot week last week, and this might be the toughest game of the week, but that's my picks, man. What do you think, Tom?
Man, I love it. And honestly, a lot of folks out there, Buck's got the hot hand, so don't be afraid to ride with it. But with that being said, this could go either way, right? Let me start there. If you told me the Bills were going to win this game, and you could look at the matchup and just break it down to Josh Allen versus Bo Nix, that's a no-brainer, right? But I think there's more to that in this game. I really do. And I've been high on the Broncos in this playoffs because I hear what you're saying on the one seed stuff, and I do agree in the sense that it does matter. And it does usually have at least the first quarter, first half impact. I think more so offensively than it does defensively, right? And the Broncos have had their offensive struggles. So because of that, let me start here. I'm taking the under. I'm with you on that.
Ooh.
I think it will, especially on the Broncos side, they'll have some struggles scoring points. But I've been riding with the Broncos before the playoffs. When we did our picks last week, I picked them to go far. They're at home. Their Jaguars are a good team, right? They have a good team, a good defense, and to be honest, they missed the field goal. They had a fourth down turnover. Lawrence threw 2 picks, if not, I believe, right? So I don't see the Broncos making all those same mistakes. They were in the playoffs last year, and they lost to the Bills in the first round, if people remember.
Wow.
That game was in Buffalo, and they got their asses kicked. I don't see it happen 2 years in a row. Sean Payton's a Hall of Fame coach. I think their defense is on an elite level. I'm taking the Broncos at home here. I'm taking a -1.5, and I'm taking the Broncos money line. But really could go either way. This isn't my most confident pick of the week, I'll tell you that much. And I'm super excited for this game. Could be the best game of the entire weekend, and it's the first one that we get. But I'm taking Denver at home to get the win after the bye week.
How do you see it playing out? Do you think the Broncos steamroll them?
No, not at all. I think this is going to be a lower scoring game. I think the Bills might even jump out in front, right? You might see them get a 7-0 lead or a 10-3 type of lead or something like that. I just think that the Broncos defense will keep them in it. They'll do what they have to do. And I think as long as they can, if Bo Nix can just get some points on the board, they should win this game. My only concern is if they can't get any run game going, Denver, which they should be able to. Broncos don't have a great rush defense. And that was the weird thing with the Jaguars game last week, because I felt like they could have ran the ball more, to be honest with you, offensively. But if they can get some run game going, R.J. Harvey, and then just hit the plays when they need to. Bo Nix, you don't have to do anything extraordinary. Don't try to be Josh Allen. Just be yourself, right? Hopefully Sean Payton will get that in his head. They can ride their defense and win a 2017 type of game, honestly. I could see it playing out that way. I think that probably plays into Denver's favor. But if this starts getting really, really high scoring, that's where I might get a little bit worried about the pick and wonder, okay, is Bo Nix going to outduel Josh Allen? Guess you could. Wouldn't predict that to happen. What about you? How do you kind of feel this one?
I wouldn't worry about it because that Broncos defense is pretty for real, tried and true at this point. And I can even already, hot take, but I can almost guarantee that Josh Allen gets picked off, or like the Broncos defense comes up with at least one turnover this game, whether it be a fumble or a pick. So I think it's going to be close, low scoring, more low scoring than 45.5 type game. Yeah, I think it's going to be close for the most part.
It's interesting. After last week, I saw a lot of stuff like because they beat Jacksonville, and it was like, oh, Josh Allen legacy game, all that stuff. This is more legacy game in my opinion, right? I mean, of course it is more, but I didn't even think of the Jaguars game. We both picked them to beat the Jaguars, right? We thought it'd be a good game, but I still thought the Bills were going to get on, and part of it's because I'm not a huge Trevor Lawrence guy. Now, I'm not a big Bo Nix guy either, but I am a huge Sean Payton guy, right? And I am a big Broncos defense guy, and they've been in the playoffs now 2 years in a row, and they're the 1 seed and like all these things where they're very, very confident. So if Josh Allen, let's say he goes in there and they whoop the Broncos or they beat him handily or he gets a game-winning drive, however, that would be way more impressive and more of a legacy type of game to me. Because then you think about it, bro. If they win this game next week, they would play New England or Houston. And, like, with all due respect, are either of those teams definitively better than the Broncos?
I was thinking really, the same thing.
Right? Not looking too far ahead, but you'd have to think if the Bills win this game, then they'll be the favorites going on the road to either of those two teams.
Yep.
They 100%. So I think they know that too, and that's what makes this game even more exciting. But I just think the Broncos are going to edge them out. I really do.
Dude, this is crazy. First of all, let me say 2 things before I forget it. One, craziest QB sneak up the middle we've ever seen last week in that for a touchdown. and then 2, unless there's something else to add into the Bills-Broncos, by all means, brother. So funny that you say that, because I was thinking the exact same thing about this upcoming Niners game. It'll lead us into the Niners-Seahawks. The fact that you just said that about the Bills, I was thinking the same thing about the Niners. If you can beat the Broncos in Denver, the number 1 seed, as the 6th seed, you can beat anyone, and you can definitely win the Super Bowl. At that point, it's just up to you. You know what I mean? As long as you play good, don't beat yourself. And I was thinking the same thing about this Niners. I was like, if you can go into Seattle, beat Seattle, night game, then you can beat, then you could beat any other team in the playoffs, including the Super Bowl. So it's funny. Our minds were thinking alike in that situation. Great take that if the Bills can go into Denver, beat them, cold game, playoffs, number 1 seed, there's no reason why they shouldn't be able to beat the Texans or the Patriots. And it's funny, looking at this matchup now, bro, you have the Broncos, I have the Bills. I could imagine seeing, and I can almost see it, Bills-Patriots AFC Championship game, and it's like a pick 'em, because I feel like their odds were pretty close throughout the year, but we'll get to that when we get to it. All right, moving on, I guess. We got the San Francisco 49ers, the 8 p.m. Saturday game at the Seattle Seahawks, playing again. They just played 2 weeks ago, and then the Seahawks took off. So literally the Seahawks are playing the Niners back-to-back. 3rd time they're meeting this year. Division rivals. This one's in Seattle, the number 1 seed in the NFC, which could have been up for grabs for any one of these NFC West teams. There's 3 still in the playoffs. Pretty crazy. All right, guys, my take on this one, and I've heard a lot of things, and obviously I'm a big Niners fan, so I watch the games, have my own takes on it. I think they're going to be riding a shit ton of momentum going into this game, and especially after just playing them 2 weeks ago, and it was a low, almost non-existent scoring back and forth game. I think now more than ever, just pull out all the stops. You know what I mean? You have so much film on the Seahawks, like speaking for the Niners and for Kyle Shanahan. You have a lot of film on them at this point. Just do stuff that you haven't even done yet. You know what I mean? I don't care if it's a screen, trick play. Hey, it worked last week. Just pull out all the stops. You're favorited to lose this game by 7 freaking points after just beating the defending champions. What, you know what I mean? No one's giving you a shot. Just go out there. Balls to the wall, man. Play Warner. So it looks like Warner's practicing this week. Even chance of him even coming back and playing, which is crazy after breaking his ankle in half 12 weeks ago. I like the Niners' momentum, so no matter what, I'm going to give them the 7 points. As far as over under 45.5, the last time they played, the whole game came out to, I think, 16 total points. Amazing defense in Seattle. Niners defense played a little better, but that was more on the Eagles offense not playing that great last week in the wild card round. So you would kind of think under. I mean, hey, both of their games, even week 1 was pretty low scoring, if I remember. And then week 18 was pretty low scoring. So, guys, little things like that. Don't sleep on this under here. Just because of that, the odds and the stats do say under. So, please, if you're not a Niners or a Seahawks fan and you're just betting the over-under money-wise, please keep an eye on that under. Look at their previous games. Look at the stats going into this. Mind you, the Seahawks defense is one of the best in the league, if not top 3. I'm going to take the over just because I'm being optimistic and want to see a high-scoring game, and I want to see the Niners offense put up points, but the under is probably the smart play in that one. I'm taking the Niners to upset the Seahawks on the road. Brock Purdy and them just got it done against the Eagles. There's no reason they shouldn't get it done against the Seahawks as well. I love what Tom said last week or a few weeks ago, that Sam Darnold, I'm not yet a firm believer. Have they had a great year? Absolutely. Do I believe he's a Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes-esque type player to take a team to the Super Bowl and win handily, be a favorite? Not at all. And we've seen glimpses of it this year. So it's going to be all on Seattle's run game and their defense to take on the Niners. And hey, man, that Niners offense is rocking and rolling. They might get Warner back. They're riding high. I said it last week, and I'm going to say it this week. Last week I said we need to put up 30 to beat the Eagles. We got very fortunate that the Eagles didn't put up that many points. We need to score 40 this week. And because the Seahawks defense is amazing, I'm going to cut it down to 30. We need 30 this week to beat the Seahawks. Do we put up 30? We win the game. If not, who knows? What do you think, Tom?
Oh man, I love hearing you talk Niners always. First off, that 7-point spread I don't like that at all. That's a little ridiculous. Like, do I think the Seahawks should be favored? Absolutely. You know Kittle now, right? Like 7 though. 7 just seems a little bit too high. And listen, people are listening to it. Seahawks fans, I'm sure. They may come out, they may win the game by 20, and then I'll feel silly, I guess. But just at this point, after a huge win like that for San Fran, riding all this momentum, they still have talent. I think maybe the best coach in the NFL at this point, at least offensively. I just don't love that 7, especially when you're playing a team for the 3rd time, right? And no, so I'll tell you right off the bat, I'm taking Niners plus 7. Absolutely taking that, and I'm running with it. The over-under is tough, so I went back and I looked into this a little bit beforehand. Then they played each other twice already. Both those games combined had 46 points. The first game of the season was 17-13 Niners, 30 points, and then 2 weeks ago was 13-3 Seahawks, 16 points. Right, so that's 46 points total in 2 games.
Yeah, where are they getting this over/under? What the hell?
This asking for 45.5, right? So I'm torn because I'm with you. I think the Niners need to score some points if they're going to win this game. But I thought that last week, and they ended up winning, right? But that was against the Eagles defense Eagles offense that's all over the place. Yes. And a just as good Eagles defense. Now, Seattle's defense is just as good, maybe better. Their offense is kind of similar, right? Like we've seen Seattle have really, really high offensive moments, and we've seen them have really weird lower offensive moments. So I'm torn on this one. I haven't done great over-unders all year. It's been my Achilles heel. I'd be a freaking 60-65% gambler if I could get them right, but unfortunately it hasn't happened for me. I'm going to go with the under a little bit reluctantly. And then perhaps a good thing for you, Mr. Buck, I am going to take the Seahawks to win. So I'm going to take the Seahawks money line. I do think they squeak this one out.
Oh.
I think it would be a good classic NFC North division. NFC North or
NFC West.
Excuse me. NFC West division rival game. But I'm taking Seattle to win this one at home. I think Darnold finally gets over a little playoff hump here, and I think that extra week of rest did help them out, and then also going into San Fran and beating them a few weeks ago should give them a lot of confidence. So, no Trent Williams at the time, which I know is a factor, and he'll obviously be playing this game. And I'm rooting for the Niners. You know that. If they win, I'll be happy. But as far as where I'm putting my money towards right now, I'm going to take Seattle money line, but I think it's going to be a really tight, fun game to watch.
Dude, biggest underdogs of the week. It's funny you said that about the point spread, +7 when both games are pretty close. And it's the playoffs, you know what I mean? That's a disrespectful spread. We had the Panthers, we're getting 10.5 last week, and that jumped off the page to us. You know what I mean? We're like, what the hell took that? And they covered easy, so that's crazy. You were just saying, you're like, oh, they're getting +7. Who knows? The Seahawks could win by 21. Yeah, and a meteor could also hit us in the next 20 minutes. And I can marry Angie Dickens, but anything could happen, you know.
All right, Giants, you never thought that happened
Dude,
2 weeks ago.
dead ass, John Harbaugh. Dude, listen, bro. While we're on it, Sunday slate of games. So those two games are on Saturday, one NFC,
Yeah,
one AFC, and then we have Sunday, January 18th. Starts off with Houston Texans at the New England Patriots. Fun game, dude. Texans got it done. Patriots got it done. Patriots got it done. Oh no. Okay, we're still good. My battery, it's still good. Texans at Patriots. Guys, listen. Patriots got it done against the Chargers. Herbert, I'm sorry, bro. Harbaugh, I'm sorry, bro. That's a discussion for another day. Patriots didn't look that great, almost like what I was saying with like the rest of the stars or whatever it is, even though they didn't rest stars, but just, young Drake May's first game and the whole team as the Patriots' first year together, in the playoffs. They got it done against the Chargers. This is a whole different animal. Because now I'm going to talk about the Houston Texans, who went into Steelers country, got it done, and Tom, when they won, bro, I looked up their stats. They haven't lost since November, bro. The
yeah.
Texans haven't
No,
lost since
guess who?
November.
To
Dude,
guess who?
to who?
The Broncos. That was their last
Oh,
loss.
dude, the Texans are freaking good this year, man. They're a dangerous, dangerous team. And when I say dangerous, dude, Sheldon Rankins, Will Anderson, and Hunter on that defense, it's almost like a created franchise on Madden when you make a team. You know what I mean? It's like it's unbelievable. And
Yeah,
then one and
yeah.
then one of the craziest nameplates in the whole NFL in that secondary with Tatuatu, whoever the hell his name is, like the craziest last name I've ever seen. But bro, those dudes are balling. And CJ Stroud played like garbage. He played like garbage.
Horrible. That was
Nico Collins
horrible.
could be I feel so bad for him because I had him on my fantasy team. He got a concussion earlier in the year, and then he just got a concussion yesterday. No, 2 days ago. So,
Yeah.
guys, I don't even know if Collins is going to play. The running backs were non-existent. I didn't even see Chubb take the field. The defense won them the game. The defense put up half of their 30 points. Type shit. Listen, their defense is amazing, and now they're taking on a young Drake May, who didn't look spectacular against the Chargers, who are not the Texans defense. So guess what, guys? I'm giving the Texans the +3 right away. By all means, the Patriots can put up 40 any week. You know what I mean? So maybe I could be wrong. Maybe the Patriots blow them out. But I think this is going to be close. I would not even be surprised if the Texans win. Um, I'm going to... Jeez, I was just talking all that shit about the defense, the offense. The over-under is 40.5. I'm still a believer that the Patriots offense is pretty good. So I'm going to take the over. But let's not forget, the Patriots defense isn't horrible either. You know what I mean? They have great corners, and then the Texans defense is amazing. Another under game, possibly. I'm going to just take the over because something in my head when I think of the Patriots this year is a team that puts up a lot of points. So hopefully that happens. Hopefully Stroud doesn't fumble the ball 3-4 times in one game. I don't know what that was about. And then as far as who do I think is going to win this game, I want the Texans to win. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I love defense. Something about a just defensive minded head coach and a defense running the whole team that the whole league's scared of. That's awesome, man. We haven't seen one of those since like early 2000s, maybe even 2013 with the Seahawks Legion of Boom. I love that shit. But do I think they're going to win, man? The Patriots at home? Guys, the offense was suspect. Almost the way the Patriots were kind of suspect against the Chargers, if you really think about it and look at last week's game. So I'm gonna take the Patriots to squeak one out, but I think the Texans are definitely a force to be reckoned with, and it might be closer than most people think. And be careful with that tailing on that over under, guys, because I can see this game being under too. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, this is. The Nico Collins. There's a few factors here. I think if the Texans were fully healthy with Nico Collins, and if CJ Stroud didn't look like, I mean, he was.
He looked like he didn't want to
horrible.
be there.
He was horrible. And don't get me wrong, Herbert was horrible too. Those two together last weekend watching were two of the worst quarterback performances I can remember in the playoffs in a long time. Herbert, listen, their O-line's banged up. Patriots were playing well on defense, but I went back and watched a ton of film on that. There was throws left and right that he missed, and I found a whole thread on Twitter, and it was just throw after throw after throw that he didn't even make or even see, and I was like, what is this doing? I watched it live. I was screaming at the TV live at what's this guy doing? So why I say that is because I think the Patriots defense did play well, but I also think there was plays there to be made. And I'm not sure if Stroud is the guy who's going to be able to do that or not. It's so weird with him because he's got the talent. We've seen him play really well, especially in 2023, his rookie year. It's weird how he's kind of just regressed as he's gotten more experience. It's like the weirdest thing I can remember seeing. So this game is a weird one, and it is tough to pick because of that. But like you said, and I love your point about like watching great defenses, and this reminds me of the Legion of Boom. They really are that Texans defense, just absolute animals. And the Patriots O-line was vulnerable against the Chargers D-line. Khalil Mack, they were getting pressure. They are definitely going to get pressure on Drake May. I have no doubt about that. Will Campbell still working back from injury. So I like that Texans +3. The over-under is a really tough one because I had the over last week against the Steelers, and it was a similar number, and it almost hit only because their defense scored 2 touchdowns. That's how freaking good their defense is.
Wow.
You know, do I think their defense will score 2 more touchdowns? Probably not. But with all that being said, I am going to go and take the under in this game, and I'm a little bit reluctant to do so. But let's ride with it. That's 3 unders so far. But ultimately, I think the Texans go into New England.
Wow.
And they get the... I do. I think their experience matters. I think their defense matters. Remember, this is their 3rd year in a row in the playoffs. Now, it is in New England. I love Drake May. Patriots have been my team all year. I love Vrabel. I don't know, man. Something just telling me when I'm looking at this game and I'm looking at this matchup that if Stroud can just make a few plays offensively, get the run game going a little bit, they should win because their defense, I think, will hold New England to 20 points or less. So if they can just get a couple scores on the board, they should win this game, man. They really should. But we'll see. We'll see. If Stroud turns the ball over, like if you're watching guys, place a bet, and you see an interception early or fumble early, everything goes out the window at that point because I watched this guy fumble 5 fucking times last week, and I couldn't take it anymore. So we'll see what happens, but my gut's telling me Houston right now, and I'd love to see them win. But honestly, New England's cool too at this point, but we're going with Houston.
Dude, I was going to ask you, all right, circle Texans, but it's already circled. You're locked in for the Texans, which is a great pick, man. I was thinking about what you said with them as the dark horse team, odds to win the whole Super Bowl before the playoffs started. And, dude, listen, man, we all season, we were like, oh, this team's done good and bad, or this player's been up and down. You know who hasn't been up and down? The freaking Texans defense the entire season, bro. They are proven. They are proven, man. They are beasts, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
Little love for the Texans there for you guys. All right. Last game of the divisional round is the LA Rams at Chicago Bears. This is a fun one. You want to go first on this one, big dog?
Yeah, I'll take it. Because I've been thinking about this game the last few days, and I love the McVay versus Ben Johnson offensive boy genius matchup, right? So let me start off Cardiac Bears, another team that I picked to make the playoffs before the year. They look great. I think the run ends here, though. I do. I think the Rams got what they needed last week, went into Carolina, didn't have their best game, and ended up finding a way to win. I think they come into this one much better, much more prepared. And the Bears, they can't keep riding this fourth quarter 25. They scored 25 points in the fourth quarter against the Packers. Like, it's not a long-term winning solution, all right? I love what they're doing, and they've done it all year, and people might think that's a crazy take. But at some point, that will come to an end. I feel like it might be this week, to be honest with you. I think it might be this week. So I'm going to take the Bears spread plus 3.5 because there still is a little part of me that's like, they might keep this close. And I'm a huge Caleb guy. I always have been. I think he's got some of the best arm talent I've ever seen. So I think they'll keep it close. I'm going to hit the over as well. I think there'll be points scored in this game. Neither defense has looked crazy impressive to me. But I like the Rams to go into Chicago and get this win. I think this is Stafford's MVP year. I don't know how many more years he has left. The Rams still have a lot of talent. I think that was a little bit of a wake-up call last week in Carolina. So I do expect them to play better. But, I think they'll go into Chicago, get the win. Weather could affect things depending on how it looks. But overall, I expect this one to be a really, really fun game. And I'm excited that it's a Sunday night one.
Dude. All right, so the Seahawks tried and true. There was a lot of teams that were good. The Rams have been so scary to me all year. You know what I mean? They've lost very questionable games. And last week, I hope it was a wake up call. And you're being very defendant of the Rams. And, like, you know what? And all due respect, their team is stacked. Great coach. Was a great defense at the beginning of the season, but they've been letting up points. But
Yeah.
their offense could very easily be one of the best in the league. Top two, top three. Stafford, argument for MVP. And dare I say, if Nakua can play the way he played last week, my God, no one could even stop him. It looked like he was just running free. Touchdown, easy catch. You can only that's how every player should play in the playoffs for their team. It just so happens it was Nakua. Stafford was looking for him. And then as far as the Bears, guys, they didn't look too good up until the end there, and then ended up pulling it out just like they always do. I was telling Tom for the video started, the Bears have been underdogs all season and won like 11, 12 games. So if you were betting on them, you had a great year. Hey, me and Tom picked them a shit ton of times this year, and they won. I'm glad you did give them the point spread because right away I like them getting 3.5, and when I say I like them getting 3.5, I really mean 6.5. I give them those extra points because for some reason I can see the Bears at least keeping this close when it's all said and done. You know what I mean? I don't think they're gonna lose by more than 7 or 14 or 10. 3.5. Add the points if you can. Love the over. Both these offenses are very high caliber. It's in Soldier Field. You know what I mean? Like it, these teams, and then there's still the chance of like a turnover, maybe a defensive touchdown. But both of these offenses very easily could put up 25 points. I wouldn't be surprised if this game goes over 50. Tell you the truth. And then as far as who's winning, might not be the most educated guess, but I'm going to take the Bears to win for not only because I got to throw one crazy one in there, like an underdog team to win, but, and I'm sure Tom can agree with me because he said it, Rams have been close in some sketchy games this year with some shitty teams and even lost to a few of them, like the Falcons. So maybe this is one of those games, and if there was ever a team to do it, it's the Bears. Tom, what if I told you we had a couple over-unders different. We picked a different team to win in every game this week. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's the first time that's happened in a while. So this could go really well or not. Well, it's going to go pretty much really well or not for one of us, at least, unless we both split. So
guys,
I'm excited, man. I'm saying this all week to everybody. At this point, I know it's different for you because there's a lot of NFC West teams left. But for me, if whoever wins this week, whoever wins the championship that's left, I like all these teams. These are all really cool franchises, really good squads that haven't won in recent years. So I'm super, super, besides I guess the Rams, but I'm super excited to really watch this. And I know they have a couple minutes left, but I just wanted to end on that note that playoffs have been great so far, and I think that it's only going to get better. I think these are going to be some of the best games that we've seen all year, and it should continue throughout.
That's about it, man. I mean, hey, we already showed you our brackets. We showed you the picks. How much time does it say on yours? It says 2 minutes.
A little over, maybe a minute, 2 minutes.
That's not enough. Anything else you want to touch on, like Harbaugh wise, or is not enough time?
Quick Harbaugh, like everyone knows, you're a Niners guy, I'm a Giants guy, but we always root for each other. This was a big deal, right, for Giants Nation and those watching our Giants fans. I really feel like this is a franchise-changing move, potentially. Now, you never know. It may not work out. But the fact that he has come in here and ended up choosing us, and just the fact that it even happened. I mean, 2 weeks ago, if you told me 3 weeks ago, if you told me John Harbaugh would be available, I'd say literally I'll give him half of my salary to do it, right? Like, I don't care. I want him here, right? All Giants fans did. And the fact it's happened is just such a great thing for us, and I'm really, really excited. And you said it to me, 9-10 wins should be the expectation this year, and I agree. So I guess we can end on that note, and let's make it happen.
I'll be quick. He wouldn't go there unless he saw what we saw this year, that they have pieces and are turning around.
Yeah.
That's the way I feel, man. We'll touch more on it next week, guys. That's our picks. Good luck to everyone this week. Be safe. Good luck to your teams. Good luck in life. Happy New Year. Tom, anything to say before we take off?
As always, bet with your head, not over your head. And let's go see who wins it, baby. It's going to be a fun one.
All right, bro. I'll see you in the conference championships. Fuck.
All right, man. I know. It's sad and exciting at the same time, but take care, everybody.
Peace out, y'all.